Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun, looking at charts like the charts behind me, which include a number of tickers that I wanted to be going over, looking at unusual whales. So, what I'm going to be doing for the month of August is I'm going to be exploring the options flow using unusual whales. I just got a membership for the month of August. I'm familiar with unusual whales as far as understanding how it can be utilized as a tool to have an edge on trades. But I have not personally done much exploring with it. And so rather than doing that privately, rather than doing that by myself, I thought I would just live stream my exploration of unusual whales, going over tickers that I'm interested in and sharing that with you guys via the live stream. And so one thing that I will be doing with this, just so I can keep my focus on the tickers that I really think I want to have an edge on, or I think might have some interesting options activity coming up, I am going to be limiting the live chat for these streams to members only. So if you are a member, let me know a ticker that you're interested in. I'd be happy to go over it, dive into the options flow, maybe set up some alerts. We can learn how to use unusual whales together as a tool. And if you're not a member, you can just, enjoy the tickers that I'm exploring. And so as of right now, I don't have it limited to members only for the live chat just because I'm new to doing this, but I do want to be creating value for members. And also Unusual Whales is a service that I'm paying for. And so it does make sense for me to be limiting that chat to members only who are paying for, the service that I provide on the channel. But also, Unusual Whales is something that has a lot of value, and so hopefully these streams can serve to maybe spark your interest in maybe creating an account with them, because then we all win, learning more, and then supporting independent market research, stuff like that. And so since I have not done it yet, I am going to see if I can figure out how to limit the chat to members only. So just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I know there are a couple people watching. It might be annoying that I'm going to limit that, but I just think that's the best way to be creating value for members. And so now I just need to see about doing that. Let's see. All right. I'm just, you guys can't see it, but I am fumbling with the YouTube screen to try and limit chat to members only. I don't know how to do that. It's kind of add stream markers. Sorry, yeah, I'm just fumbling with the live chat here. Yeah, so just give me 1 second. Sorry, I've got to do this. Live chat replay. Participant modes. Who can send messages? Anyone, subscribers, members. And so, maybe that's something that I should do for normal streams is actually limit the participation to subscribers only. Although, I'm happy to keep it open for most people. So that should be set. I do have to do it in the YouTube page when I'm usually in OBS. So members only of this channel can send messages now. So I'm sorry about that limitation. And actually, I think I can. Yeah, I'll have to play around this in the future for the next stream to, not be doing this so clunky. So I do apologize for that. But now you can see that I now have Unusual Whales open. I have not explored this at all. The first ticker that popped up was ChargePoint, and I have had some nice chats, some nice exchanges with Saul about ChargePoint and whether or not that did find the bottom. So, I'm going to, just spend the hour exploring Unusual Whales and hopefully maybe setting some alerts, and we can, maybe find some value together. And so with that being said, first what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to turn my my computer volume off. I think I heard an order was filled, and we don't need to be distracted by that as I do this stream. But so yeah, these are the tickers that I want to be going over in this video. First, ChargePoint, that was the first one that popped up on Usual Whales, so I might as well do that. I also wanted to look into AMC. I think there's going to be a lot of very interesting options activity coming up with that chart. And then I do plan on doing a video on Chewy and GameStop today, really just kind of talking about, Roaring Kitty, his positions, and, how I think that these dips that we're seeing, we might be seeing a lot of value opportunities. And the low today, I should note, is 22.18 on GameStop so far. I did previously and still do have this level at 21.69 mark. So I find that, to be potentially a great dip buying opportunity. Other ones on the list here, this came up during the last stream. It was in the request list, so I just left it there. Fubo, I'm kind of intrigued by it. It's very cheap, so I can't imagine the options activity is really that interesting. But, I thought I'd just leave it up there and explore it. Other tickers up here, Boyle, 2x leveraged natural gas. I am pretty intrigued to be learning more about natural gas because it can be very volatile, but learning about it, not just, as trading it, but looking into the options activity to kind of give an edge on that. And then, of course, semiconductors, specifically here looking at NVIDIA, does look like we have been having some bounces, but it does look like it has been fading lower, and these are dead cat bounces. So, I could see the top being in with this, and, or maybe, we see a top soon. And then, a good time to be shorting it. We actually saw a high recently for SOXS of 29.64, seeing a pullback. Haven't filled this gap yet. So with that being said, I think semiconductors could be going higher, and then, it could present a great opportunity to short semiconductors. So these are all ones that I plan on going over the course of the next hour. But, it's just going to be me fumbling with Unusual Whales, so I might not get to all of them. And so I am going to start with ChargePoint, currently trading around $2.03. First, before I get into Unusual Whales, I'm just going to have a peek at the options table, and then I'll look over at Max Payne. That website was having some trouble loading earlier, and so maybe that's not going to be a resource for this stream, but I do plan to continue to use it. This is looking at puts here. I'm going to switch over to calls. Coming up for tomorrow, August 2nd, nothing too exciting, I can't imagine, but price is right around $2 a share. And we do have, over 9,000 contracts in the money, but if it were to go up to 250, we'd have nearly 30,000 contracts in the money at that point. I don't expect that to happen. And then let's just look over at the next couple weeks. So we're also considering the monthly contracts. So here, August 9th, $2 strike. We have about 1,400 contracts that are in the money, but barely in the money. And then 250, about 4,000. So not too much there. But then looking at August 16th, that is the monthly contracts, starts to get a little more interesting there. We have just under 49,000 actually, 48,000 contracts in the money at the $2 strike price. Price is currently above that. So I think, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff to look into with ChargePoint as far as the options flow goes. And then before I get into Unusual Whales, I'm just going to look at Max Payne. You can see here, it's loading. So I'm not sure why there's an issue with that, but I guess it's not going to be a resource for this video, but that's fine because I did want to be exploring Unusual Whales more. And so, my goal with this is not to just look at the flow, but also to be creating alerts for myself. So when, a big order is placed, if it's bullish, if it's bearish, I will then have an edge on that trade. And so I find that to be pretty interesting. And so here, I just went over to this tab here, flow feed. And, this, like I said, is all very new to me. So just looking at this, we can see these contracts. It looks like these were all opened, I believe, either opened or closed. And we've got these, this is bearish move. This is, let's see, side bid. So again, this is me fumbling with unusual whales. Bid is going to be, let's see if I look at the options table here, we have the bid that is the sell. And so a bid is going to be bearish, whereas ask is going to be bullish. And so these are all, the top three. I'm not going to get into all of them here. And actually, maybe I want to zoom in on this a little bit more. Hopefully that looks okay. And so here, we've got, these are all of the $2 strike price. This is for, going well into the future. August 16th, this is a put, and that is ask. So that is going to be a buy. So somebody's buying puts. They're saying that they think that price is going to be going below $2 by the August monthly contract. And so that's bearish. Let's see the size of the order. Oh, and then we also have days to expiration, DTE. So that's going to be listed here, 15 days to expiration. And so what I might want to do is just consider prioritizing this by those expirations to see. But yeah, it does look like ChargePoint could be at or near a top. I think my average is around 237, so it'd be great if it went up a little bit higher, and then I could at least trim if it is to go lower and then buy back those shares lower. And let's see, size. This is 100 contracts, so that's pretty notable. That is bearish. And then there's this other one. This is for January 16th, 2026. That is a call bid, meaning it was sold, and that is with a $5 strike, and so that is bearish. These are 100 contracts each, and then we can also see the premium here. So yeah, that was probably a swing that calls were bought as price went up. If we look at the chart here, price went up, and then now it looks like this chart. I'm just getting rid of an ad that might be popping up. We have this big up move, but then a pullback and then consolidation around that purple neckline over here. So it does look like, this is a bear flag, down move, consolidation below support or below resistance, I should say. And so the options data is indicating that, it's more bearish than bullish, because if we look at this one that's bullish here, 20 contracts, $2 ask. It's not a huge order relative to these other ones. And so, let's see. The transaction took place at or closer to ask side. Okay. But we can just see here, I guess, there's these icons, but it just says that over here. So, and then we can just, get a summary up here, the volume, the call, so this is calls and puts, premium 50%. Yeah, so I've got to learn this better. But yeah, so let's see. Again, this is me just fumbling, learning how to do this. And so by the end of the month, hopefully I'll be very efficient with this. But right now it's just, let's see. Oh, and I can sort here by time, by premium, by size. Let's look at size. What are the large orders doing by size? That kind of limits it. Size 250. And okay, so and then I could also do by premium. Premium again. I don't understand how that filter is valuable. So I'll just leave it at time. 50 per page. Okay, yep, and so live flow, so this should be getting updated. The last one was, my time is central. So I will probably, for future streams, I will adjust that to East Coast time, because that's what I am, more familiar with thinking about, and I think most people are more familiar with thinking about that. Okay, and so now I just kind of want to explore. Um, let's see, settings. Okay. Hmm. All right. And so here, can I set up alerts, flow alerts? Hmm. Yeah, so I guess what am I interested in? Thinking about the options table. I think I'm just gonna try to focus on the monthly contracts, and so I will just limit them here. So we're just gonna be looking at, for ChargePoint, the 2 upcoming monthly contracts. And so it looks like, got a lot here. It would be nice to see what max pain is, but for these, $2. And I'm just gonna include all of it, and I'll just leave those up there because I can read the W or not, so the monthly. And so, yep, there are those two. All right, so these are calls, and let's see, is max pain is still not loading? Don't know why. All right, so what can I do? View more. Volatility options chain. Okay. I guess, I can adjust filters. Okay. All right. So this is, let's see. Yeah, I just don't understand. So this is volume calls. The majority are in calls, but does that mean sells or buys and sells, or bids and asks and bids, or is this just buys? Because it does say majority is bullish, whereas with the premium, okay, so the majority of volume is bullish, but what does this mean? Premium, yeah, so I guess this means it's kind of like neutral. I don't really know. Oh, and I guess I can click on some of these to learn more then. Okay, and so we did get, in the time that I've been doing this, there were just 2 that were bearish. It does look like things are, leaning bearish. I think $2 is, around the top for ChargePoint. So, good to note that. And how do I create alerts, though? So maybe I won't be able to create alerts in this stream, and that's fine. But yeah, this is also, bearish engulfing candle on the chart there. How to create alerts. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so I got all this stuff on the side here. Flow alerts. Maybe I'll go to that. Because I want to set alerts for some stuff. Find ticker. Okay, so this was from a couple days ago, a few days ago. Most of these are from a few days ago. And I don't know what these. I got a lot more to learn about. What's this? Screeners. Actually, let's see what the stock data, dark pool feed, whale feed. I don't know if I have access to all this. Yeah, this is stuff I've got to learn more about. Let's look at screeners. Stock screener. Ticker Explorer. And one of the things that I am interested with unusual whales is to just be looking at historical options data. I actually tried to kind of compile that myself, but it's just too much work. And so this is the flow feed. And this is pulling up ChargePoint. And so what do we see today? So size 50. This was a large contract, 150, and that was bearish. That was from earlier today. So 150, it's a lot of contracts. And so, yeah, I think that 100 is something that I want to filter for. If there's a trade that's over 100, this is earlier today, that's bearish. And then also, too, thinking about the premium, that's $7,000 in premium, whereas, this 2,000, 1,000. Yeah, so if there's a trade that's 150 contracts, $7,000 premium at bearish bet, that is a bid or sell, of a $2 strike, and that's coming up in January. So that's saying that basically that's just giving them the window up until January, not that they're going to hold it, or that's a sell. So they had bought that. They gave them a bunch of time before that would expire, and they sold it. Okay, and I'm just going to click on this to see. So this is for the call for January 17th of next year. 169 days until that expiration. And so, yeah, there's this big bearish, spike, that big red spike. And let's see. Options volume call plus put volume. And so if we just look at, this is volume. Like bullish, bearish. Yeah, so this big sell was, bearish over here. And let's see, call plus put volume. And so, yeah, this is telling us that a lot of that was call volume, not put volume, but that was a sell. No. So that's this one that we're looking at. Is it? Let's see. I think it's like do I want it bearish or bullish? Bullish over bearish volume. So the smaller this we get, the more bearish that it is. So, yeah, okay. So we're seeing, this is starting to look more bearish. So, yeah, I need to figure out how to do alerts, which there's an alert here. Create an alert. Cool. Okay, so I can do this. Price target, analyst reading, options contract. I don't necessarily want it for January. I think I'm more interested in, the monthly's coming up. So the monthly's coming up. Yeah, see, everything's just looking bearish. These are all the more recent ones. Okay, yeah. So I want, let's see. There's not too much for the next couple months for the monthly contracts. Oh, okay, so I want to look at this. And so I'm interested for, I don't want to just make an assumption in how to read this. Okay. Overview for, okay. Create an alert. Options contract. This is $3 strike. I don't want a $3 strike. Create an alert. Okay, cool. This is how I can create an alert. Get notifications for when an options contract meets certain. Okay, so I don't necessarily want. Can I change that? Yeah, so this is how I can create alerts. I probably just want to, let's see, custom alerts. Okay, so that's something that I can just click on over here, create an alert. Cool. So, yeah, I might create some alerts maybe, and maybe I'll do another stream later today, because I've done this for about 26 minutes, and I just kind of want to limit these to an hour. Looking at the options flow and just kind of seeing if there's something that stands out. As far as ChargePoint goes, it looks like, and even if we look at the chart, it looks like things are, the top is going to be in around, $2. So, yeah, I would like to see. It would be nice if this. Okay, there we go. Cool. So Max Pain is working now, and I just want to look at options, and I'm going to do ChargePoint. So, I think what will be valuable is looking at max pains for the monthly contracts just to kind of see, how things are shifting. And so the max pain for the monthly contracts in August, $2. So I think that's going to be an interesting level to look at. And then I believe for September, it's the 20th, and that is also $2. So I might want to create some alerts for ChargePoint with a $2 strike. That is... yeah, I think interesting. And so I don't want to look at the chart here. What I want to look at is unusual whales. So I'm actually going to close that window. Okay, so I got this here. And so let's see. Hey, Antoine, welcome. Thanks for becoming a member. And yeah, and if there's a ticker that you want me to look up, I'm happy to do it. But also, I'm, super green with unusual whales, so I'm just fumbling with stuff. As you can see with ChargePoint, that's what I'm struggling to figure out how to utilize this. But I do think that looking at screeners, going to custom alerts, I can let's see, look up ChargePoint here and. Okay, yeah, so I don't have any alerts. Create an alert. So I think I want to expand that. And I think I want to do when a flow alert meets my criteria. And so I want to do this for a specific ticker, flow alerts for a ticker. Get notifications when a flow meets your criteria. Okay, this is interesting. So I'm going to do ChargePoint, $2 strike. And let's create some rules here. Out of the money earnings floor. More interested in. This is, yeah, something I'm going to have to learn more about. Uh, and yeah, I was gonna just respond by typing, but I'll just do it vocally. Awesome, glad you got paid. I get paid tomorrow, so the and on Saturdays I do the weekly trading plan. So my trading plan for next week should be a little bit more interesting, but also with getting paid, I have bills due at the beginning of the month, so. Um, yeah, I think like really like middle of the month when I get paid, don't have a lot of bills due, more interesting. But I do think that yeah, and actually you should have access to this week's trading plan. Something that got filled for that, I believe, was Plug Power. I sold a cash secured put, made some money on that, and I'm not sure. If it will close in the money or out of the money, but either way, I'm happy about that trade. Um, but yeah, so I will probably explore alerts here. Let's see, in another video, just because I'm curious to see the other stocks that I have on my list. But yeah, so for ChargePoint, I feel like my takeaway is that given that we are looking here right around $2 a share, Max Payne seems like it's going to be keeping price around this level over the course of the next like month and a half. And so I could see ChargePoint coming down. Options activity also seems to be suggesting that, or at least the flow seems to be suggesting it's a little bit more bearish than bullish. But I might be misinterpreting the website because I'm new to it. In a lot in HUMA. Okay, cool. So I'll add that to the request list here, and I'll look that up on unusual whales and see if there's something there. All right, so it looks like a lot of bearish sentiment seems to be popping up. These are all, the past 19 minutes. Yeah, this like confuses me up here because the majority of the volume is calls. But if we look at, the majority of these are calls, but their sentiment is bearish because they were sells. And so if we look at the HUMA chart, we can see that, yeah, price has gone up a lot. It does look like it could be getting near a double top. And for me, as far as like shorting stocks goes, the only way that I am really familiar with doing that is by buying puts or selling calls. And so I don't know how to properly short stocks, but I feel like it's kind of a safety thing because you can lose a lot of money shorting stocks. But let's see here. These are one thing that I do like about this is these calls are dated, in the August and the. Thank you for Antoine. And, see, looks like a lot of people are in the chat now, so that's cool. Gifting memberships, cool. Wow, thanks for doing that. I appreciate that, and I hope that you guys who are gifted memberships that you guys enjoy it, and that you guys want to come back next month. But yeah, that's all from Antoine, so thank you for doing that. And I think that's actually a really cool thing. What a lot of people will do is occasionally I get super chats or like tips, but now with the memberships, you can put those tips to benefit yourself as well. So whether it's joining for B plus or A plus. A plus is just an extra dollar, but it doesn't. There aren't necessarily benefits to that, but it does benefit me in the channel. But yeah, I mean, if you want to tip, if you want to do a super chat, just get a membership. And so, I think it's awesome that, a bunch of people are now members of the channel. So, Antoine, I really appreciate that. And I know that those who are gifted the memberships will appreciate it as well. And so that is WS, Sean, Justin, Wix Music, Sandy. And so thanks all for joining. And thanks to Antoine for gifting that. That's super cool. I didn't know that people could gift memberships. So But yeah, looking at Humana, the thing that I like about this, I don't have a ton of cash to be risking on premium, and I don't have a lot of, let's see, um, my track record with buying options is not great. My track record with selling options is fine. I could be more aggressive with them. Um, but I don't really go too far out with my options just because my track record is not that great, and the premium it makes it much more expensive. And so we have these shorter dated calls. Let's see, August 16th, and let's see. I thought I saw September. Yeah, September 20th. So that's not this month, but next month's expiration. And so these are calls being sold, as far as I understand, because this is bearish. It's a call, it's bearish, so that means it's being sold. And these premiums are 10 for the most part, or sorry, not premiums, strikes are 10 for the most part. And yeah, so this could be a very appealing play to short. And, these, some were bullish though. But yeah, majority of the volume, it looks like, is in calls. So that's what this means. Majority of the premium traded is calls. However, for the most part, they are sells. So that's bearish. Although, yeah, like, this has just been updated, so there's some bullish. But we want to be looking at the size. We don't just want to be looking at, if an order is placed, let's say I can only do one contract at a time. I'm not a big fish. So who cares what I do? I'm probably more likely to be wrong than right. So what we want to be looking at is the ones that have a large number of contracts. What are those going in? So the largest number of contracts that we can see in this list, if I scroll down here, 40, this is bullish. That was placed earlier today, and that is a call being bought, and that is for not this month, but next month's expiration. And so we can actually look at that and see that there was this dip in the, let's see. And so the volume, I need to learn how to do this more. So when this, I'm looking at the bullish over bearish. So when that number goes low, that means it's more bearish than bullish. And so we did see a dip here where it was more bearish, but now we're seeing it more bullish. It has bounced, but overall over the course of the day, it has gone down. And so here we can see that spike. Yeah, so this is stuff that I need to learn more about. And so yeah, I'm gonna catch up on the comments. And so I am checking out HUMA now. And hey everybody, so yeah, let's see. So I mean, my understanding of this, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you're more familiar with this. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, and this is how you get the historical open interest. So that's cool. Historical volume and open interest. So this is something that I'm really interested in. I like I said, I've tried compiling this information for some stocks, but couldn't get into it too much. And so just because it's like, every single day having to document that, compile that. And so either way, I look at this premium. This looks like it was bearish here. But then it's now, so the biggest moves today were bullish over here, bearish over here. And so this is just for the day, and I'm looking at options volume. Let's see. Net premium. This is stuff that I need to, This is like too much information. So what is this? View flow for HUMA. Okay, so this is kind of nice. It's because I think it's just limited to orders being placed for that. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So it's just net bullish for not this month, but next month. And I think that's pretty clear. We see all of these bullish indicators here. This is just for today. And let's see, the largest one though is 40. And let's see, okay. But then I'm gonna switch back to, I don't want to just look at and so this is a $15 call. This is, yeah, okay, $15 call. So kind of like identified that, I guess. I'm going to switch back to this because it's a little bit easier to start from here. And then I get a little bit, the other table is kind of like new to me. So looking here, just looking at the size, this one was a pretty big play. This is bearish. And so I'm interested in the calls coming up. So this is more near term. I don't want to look at options volume. This is just kind of the basic way to look at it. And we can see that, how do I get, okay, so the flow for this is the $10 strike for August 16th. So that's coming up. Largest orders for today, it looks like we're bearish selling calls with a $10 strike, as far as I understand that. Oh, this one, yep, bearish. This was earlier today, 100 shares. So that's a pretty massive premium, 8,000. So yeah, I mean, if we want to look at, not this month, but next month. So the monthly contracts for September expiring on the 20th, those are, net bullish. But leading up to next month's contracts is this month's, August's contracts, and they look to be, so we've got 65 contracts here, call, but that's being sold. And let's see, this other one that was 100 contracts, that's bearish as well. That's being sold. So it seems like within the next 15 days, 8,000 premium for that. And, so that's 5,000 premium for this. These are bearish bets. And so if I look over at the chart, we can see that, price is $9. Man, this is like, I'm not placing any orders because of this. This is strictly for me to be doing research. Once I get more familiar with it, I'll place some orders. But it does seem like over the course of the next couple of weeks, HUMA will be coming down. And so it does seem like, actually, I don't have to place orders, but I can look at them. And before I look at the options table, I am also going to look at the max pain for the 16th. So they are only monthly contracts for this one. And maybe I want to learn a little bit more about the company too. So the max pain is $7.50 and price is currently higher than that. This actually seems like it's a pretty good bet for it to come down. And so if we look at options, I don't have any shares. So I'm looking at calls here. I don't have any shares to sell a covered call, but that would be, like 80 bucks. I'd make $80 to sell that if I had 100 shares. I'd have to buy 100 shares. It's like $900. And so if we look at puts, that's another way to make some money. And the reason why we don't have max pain between $10 and $7.50 is because the options chain is limited to that. So One could buy a put with a strike of 750 that expires in a couple weeks. I should say buy a put that would cost $60 for one contract. And so one could risk $60, and then I don't know if it would be coming down to 750. So this seems a little risky in that respect because the options chain is limited to $2.50 increments and monthly contracts. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to do a follow-up on this, but I feel like it looks like, if somebody has 100 shares of this, one could definitely sell, a covered call, get $90 as long as it closes below 10. That seems likely. But then as far as puts go, this would be to buy a put, and if it closes, yeah, this would just be for premium. Yeah, so I think in the money stuff is better. $10 strike, 180, and could do that to swing for premium. This is very intriguing. Yeah, so this is like something that I'm very interested in because of the options table, the options activity, the flow. It seems like it's very active, and I think the best ways to be doing that would be to buy a put with a strike of $10 and have a plan to sell that within the next week. So not holding on to it to expiration, but it does seem like with price being at $9. Let's look at the chart here. It seems like the top could be in. And yeah, let's see. But I think it could also go, I mean, this could be, nice to wait for it to go higher. So no need necessarily to place the order now. But yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. Just looking at this flow, September, like maybe by August, it's a good time to go long because there are all of these bets. But I mean, like these are all pretty small bets. So I think this could be just like, like for me, I'm a small retailer. I'd be doing a one contract play. So these, the only one that I think is like good information here is the one that's 40 contracts. But that could also be like a Wall Street bets person who's like YOLOing. That's not YOLOing because it's less than 10,000, but it's not like a huge position. $2,000 risk. And so this could be just like people being dumb. This to me seems like 65 bearish, 24 bearish, 10 bearish, 10 is neutral, 10 is bearish. This one's bullish. I think that one's kind of dumb. It seems like it's a mistake. 15 bearish, 19, 10 both bearish. 20, these two are bullish, but yeah, I mean, it's like, how much is retail willing to lose? Retail's willing to lose thousands of dollars. But yeah, I mean, 8,000 here, 100 contracts. Yeah, I think that this definitely seems like it's going down. So yeah, very cool, exploring the flow. So I'll have to follow up on this and note that the yeah, I'm doing this for fun. I have my little notepad here, and I am just going to add what the premium is right now for the $10 put. So for HUMA, we have the August 16th put at $10 strike. And so I need to turn this into kind of a table. Expiration. And strike. And then what's the premium? That is, $1.80. So $1.80 is that premium. So how will that change in time? I think that 180 premium could go up to, easily 200 or $2. I think that we could look for, what would be my goal? What would be my trade? This is just kind of like paper trading. I guess I'm writing it in my little notepad. I would want this to go to, let's say a 50% swing, or, maybe we could just do a 2x. 2x would be putting that at 360. So I wonder if that will get to 360. And maybe I can do an alert with this. I don't think I can do an alert with options like this. But yeah, so hopefully that's useful. It's been about 51 minutes, and I do need to explore AMC, Chewy, and ChargePoint before this ends, because I was going to make some videos on Chewy and ChargePoint. But I'll probably do another one of these streams later today, just because, I'm paying for this for the next month, and I really want to dive into it to see if I can use it as a resource, and if I can, then I'll continue to pay for $48 a month. And so let's see here. Yeah, so this is cool. See, what are my trades? No trades with these filters. Okay, yeah, I'm not trading on it. Okay, so. But yeah, those are interesting. Flows custom. I don't know why it's custom, but okay, yeah. Because, okay, here. $10 call for this, and how did I get, okay, I went over the flow here. So that's how I got that. So very cool. I find that intriguing. And it's like, just because there are calls being traded, that suggests that it's bearish, considering the premium and size of the orders, doesn't mean the only way to make money with this is by calls or by, doing what's up here. You could do the opposite, rather than, or I guess really it's like, I view calls and puts as kind of like a circle. And that, if you're buying calls, you're selling puts. It's like the same thing. And so right here, people are selling calls bearish. One could be buying puts. So that's what I have noted in my notebook. We'll see what happens with that. So very cool there. This is exactly what, is intended here. Can you? Yes. So, Andre, yeah, I'm happy to look at, and so, right before your comment, Antoine was asking about AMC. And so I will look up that as well, but I'll do that before open, but I will add open to the list here. And so I'll look at that, but first going to do AMC. So I think that AMC is kind of really just like waiting for earnings coming up on tomorrow after the close. I was able to adjust my schedule, and I will be able to stream the earnings call tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. I think that, as far as their debt goes, extending that, as far as the performance of Deadpool and Wolverine, the new announcement with Usher, and I imagine more artists doing concert series with AMC, or a concert release with AMC partnership. I think there's going to be more of that. So I feel, generally just whenever price is around $5, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on AMC, and I should note that my average, I have it in two accounts. And one is, I think, around 850. The other is around 10. And, I think that now's the time to be accumulating. But so let's look at here. I'm not going to look at the options table here. I'll first try and become informed by unusual whales, but I will also look at the max pain coming up for AMC. And I'm just going to look at the monthly contracts because I think those are going to give the most value as far as direction goes. So AMC, max paying of 5 for the monthly contract. For this month, August 16th is when that expires. And then next month, it's September 20th. And that is $450. So that's kind of suggesting that price is near a top. But I had just done that video on the bottleneck, and you can look on that thumbnail. I have the list of the maximum call options for AMC, and some of them were getting down to $9 maximum. So for this week, it's unchanged, $10.50. Oh, I should say for calls. But then if we go to the next week, I believe it was, actually, it says $9.50. This is 9. But I've been able to view them. I don't know if I need to refresh the app or something. Maybe I need to reload it. But yeah, these have been upped to 10, so I'm kind of surprised about that. I must have not had the best data when I did that. But anyways, switching back over to here, I'm going to exit out of that, and I will look up AMC. So what do we see as far as the flow goes? This looks like, and I think especially with AMC, because there is so much retail involvement, very important to be looking at the size. I could be buying a call or a couple calls here and there, but really you want to be looking at the volume of those, or the size, the number of contracts. So here, 39, this is bullish. $2,000 risking on premium, and that's a put, so somebody's selling cash secured puts with a strike of $5. And so I actually find that to be kind of out of the money, so that, let's see, a cash secured put for that is, let's see, 39 cash secured put. I imagine it's cash secured. It's for September 20th. So that's going to be the monthly contracts over here. And, so the premium for, with price being above $5, let's say I've got, to sell a cash secured put, $5, that's to sell it, get $39, but then would have to have, $500 minus $39. So is that $461 on the side to be able to buy 100 shares? But that's 2 months from now. And that's, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to kind of like flip through this. What seems like it has the most, like the largest orders being placed? So that is September 20th put, and that's bullish. And so let's see, that's like saying, I'm just trying to think, how could one have an edge? I have a good amount of AMC shares. I must say I've sold a lot of covered calls that actually, no, I haven't. I've been cautious because of earnings. I haven't been too aggressive with my calls or my shares, my options this week for AMC, because I think, and so this is a year from now. So this is a put. I don't get why I'm just not that familiar with puts. So let's look at stuff that's more recent, or more, not about a year away. So it's, okay, wait, yes. So looking at this is 39. Okay, yeah, so this is coming up, put $5 strike. This is, yes, these are like long dated, date to expiration. So I don't just, like, I'm just looking at the month, and it's like, I also need to be looking at the year. So these are, 39 here. So I wonder if this is the same person, because 39, 39. I think that's interesting. These are puts that are being sold, meaning that they're bullish. Earnings are this week. That's why there's that unicorn thing here. So yeah, I mean, how can we go bullish on AMC? For me, I probably just buy shares is how I would do it. But let's look at, this is being updated a lot. And there's a lot of activity, it seems like. I got an ad popping up, so I'm going to remove that. And so with AMC, what has a lot of, yep, 145, yes. So, I mean, there are, so that's coming up for a couple Fridays from now. This is bullish. Yeah, because look at these bearish ones. This one is actually bearish. That's somebody bought puts. Okay, so this is 145 contracts. Somebody's betting that it's going to go down by the end of next week. Okay, so with that being said, that being 145 contracts, and also right here, puts, let's look at those. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's a time to be bearish on AMC. Maybe the top is in. But, if we're looking at this as $2,000 premium. So I'm just going to open this up, and these are, I'm going to look at the flow. I find this to be interesting. This, like the charts and stuff get to be too much information. A chart, you're having to interpret it. A table, you just have the data. So yeah, this is all from today. A lot of people are buying puts, and that could also just be because of earnings. So, maybe people are like betting on that with price going down. But yeah, what are the large orders? These two are, I wonder, I don't know how to find out who is placing these orders, but those seem, so it seems to be pretty heavy in the bearish. And then there's, these one contracts, these are, small players. 10, it's larger, but it's bearish. But yeah, these kind of smaller contracts, yeah, premium, it's not that crazy. But yeah, this $5 put for next week. So it seems like AMC is more likely to go down following earnings based on this. And so this is, looking at this one, the open interest for puts, that was $5. There should be a good amount of open interest, 5,000 for puts. For calls, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to want to look at this. It has, been respecting this uptrend. Bull flag, but it is, seems like it's getting rejected here. I don't know. But yeah, we might be seeing a pullback in AMC is what the flow is suggesting. Let's see if I look back on this. This is for just AMC in general. Looking on the day, we can see that this is bullish. This is 8 days, $6 call buy. Oh, okay, cool. And it has the open interest right here. So this is, so 145. That's bearish, but they could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, I feel like AMC is just kind of tricky because earnings are coming up. But let's see. Calls for, let's see, that's a pretty big order. Let's look at this flow. So these are calls here. These are, majority of them are bearish. That's what I was looking at over here. Is that right? That was, it says bullish. But yeah, that one seems okay. I don't know what this means. A sweep to fill order is a type of market order in which a broker splits the order into numerous parts to take advantage of the order size at the best price. Market in which a broker splits the order to get the best price. So yeah, I mean, this seems like all of that, that strategy is being used on bearish plays. So I would think that the price is going to go down following earnings, which would mean dip buying opportunities. Yeah. Okay, so and now I want to find some that are the monthlies. 816 call, 650. I need to figure out how to place alerts. But yeah, I mean, it seems like, yeah, I mean, it's just doing options around earnings is always gambling. So I feel like just, AMC is going to be tough right now. But this is one I want to learn more about as far as, the monthly contracts and not necessarily puts. Here I have to be thinking of these. These are bullish puts. I want to look at, Yeah, so I will flip over to Antoine's request of open. Or no, that was Andre's request and also Antoine 35. Yeah, so here. Okay, so this is coming down. Let's look at open. And I'm going to go here to the flow and type in open here. This is a lot of, it seems like things are more in favor of bulls. Lots of contracts, thousands here. Oh wait, actually no, that's volume. I should contracts 25. These are bullish. Premium's not in the thousands. Bearish here earlier. So, and maybe I want to, since I'm looking at this intraday, maybe I want to look at the hour chart. But yeah, this pulled back. I would think that it switched to bullish right now because it has pulled back. And so this seems like it's more in a, yeah, and this, it's not, these contracts might be dated out into the future, but they're really, just one day from now. But these ones that were bearish could have just been for, swings, and they were bearish, but now on the shorter time frame for tomorrow expiration, there's more interest in stuff going bullish, but these aren't, looking at the chart, it just seems like it's, switch over to 10-minute. Seems like bottom could be in there. If I flip over to the daily, doing the normal kind of technical analysis stuff that I do, I could just do, like 168 up to 309, and I'm going to adjust those levels 168 and 309. And so from those points, yeah, I mean, it looks like it could, be finding the golden pocket as support. It's just below that right now if the sentiment is to switch to bullish. that could be going up. If we look at the options table here, this is calls expiring tomorrow. What do we see the bullish, buys that are, a lot of contracts. These are puts that are being sold with a $2 strike. And so, for calls, what could be done is, this could be bought at, $22 per contract and then swung for whatever that is. So I might actually write this down just to see what it ends up closing at tomorrow for open. Expiration 8/2. So tomorrow I'm going to do a call. I'm not placing an order. I'm just writing this down on my notepad. But with a strike of $2, premium of 22 cents or $22, and I'm curious if that will go to 44. Or, really just if it'll go higher than 22, and I'm sure it will. All right. So, yeah, I think that seems like, it's time to buy the dip here, is my impression from looking at the options. And let's see. Look at the flow for calls for tomorrow, $2 strikes. So this is the one that I, just noted. So if I pull this up, it's looking bullish right now. This could be a flow. And calls, some bullish, some bearish contracts, bullish 19. This is placed earlier, and that could have been, it's a call that was sold. But, price to come down. So, I'm curious about that premium here. This is, this is not live data. So, it's now $21 a contract. Maybe that could get filled at 20 and then swing it to 44. It's in the money, so it's playing it safe relative to like doing an out of the money call. Following this big down move, I think, this is the trouble with like taking requests, is I'll like get ideas and then I'll get excited about them and maybe I should swing this, but I just have it in my notepad. I think that's an interesting suggestion. Open going long into tomorrow, we could do the next week's contract, $2 strike, $26, and so maybe that's, I'm just gonna do 8, 9. I'm just noting it same as before, but this is 26. So that's of interest. And I need to figure out how to get alerts going on unusual whales. But I think that this looks very interesting. I'm just looking at the flow for this contract, the call. But I think it was bearish earlier today. Actually, no, this is like primarily bullish. And if we're looking at, let's just look at the size. What's the largest sized order here? 34.97, that was bearish, but that was half an hour ago. And prices since, if we look at the chart here over the past, actually, that was bearish here. So, I think that the bottom's in. And I should note too that the premium data that I have here, this is delayed. So it's delayed by 15 minutes. And I think I might actually, I'm just not as familiar with exploring that in unusual whales. But I think I can get the live premium data here. Market data, and this is, I'll have to Ticker Explorer. But so hopefully that's useful with open. It seems to me like it's maybe going to be bullish, but maybe that's not going to be the case. And so what I'm going to do, since I've been doing this for more than an hour, and I had wanted to look into Chewy and GameStop, I'm going to flip over to those now, and then I'll end this stream, and I'll probably do another stream like this later today, because it's good for me and for my learning. And so, yeah, so for Chewy, let's take a look over here. And this is, I want to look over here, close that. Chewy. And so we see contracts. I'm interested in the monthly contracts. This is a $30 strike, so it's out of the money. It seems like a gamble. 25 is closer to current price. And, so these monthly contracts, that's bearish. That's a sell. 8/16/30. 8/16. This is a call 25. So this is, right around current price. It's a buy. That's bullish. It's one contract though. And yeah, let's look at the options table here. Lots of options, man. But I kind of just want to look at the monthly and see that there's, 25 or 30. I would think those are the more interesting ones. I'm going to pull up Chewy over here. 80. I don't want it for this week. I want it for the monthly. Maximum pain is 25, and that's above current price. Maximum pain for next month's monthly is 22.5, so that's not looking so good there. But yeah, so let's see. Looking at the options flow, I'm thinking about the call strike for this month of 25. And let's look at that. Let's look at the flow. Hopefully get some information from this. Large size positions. What are the large size positions? The largest one's 10 contracts, less than $1,000. That's bearish because that was a sell. PANW. I'll add it over here, but I'm not going to be able to stream too much longer. But I will look at that in a minute, and I'm just going to delete these other ones that I wasn't looking at. And so I'll get to looking at all of these during this stream. And so for Chewy, okay, so these are sweeps and these are bullish. Cross floor and sweep trades will be labeled as such. The flag label is automatically attached to the trade by the executing exchange. Sweep to fill order is a type of market order in which a broker splits the order into numerous parts to take advantage of the order size at the best prices currently offered on the market. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to end the stream soon because I'm like overloaded with information. So I'm curious for, these calls are going pretty far into price going up. Yeah, so let's see, what's the largest size order here? So 20 is the largest, and those are puts with $20 strike, and the side is And so this is neutral. $20 strike put. That's 10/18. So it's a couple months from now. So I don't really understand how that's neutral. What's the mid mean? Transaction took place at the mid. The direction of this transaction cannot be positively identified. The transactions that may take place exactly between the bid and the ask have been modified or canceled. All right, so these are coming in now. This is bullish for somebody I think sold that. 816. So I'll look at that and see. So, Let me just see what this looks like. No, I don't want that. And I can add bookmarks. Cool. Oh, I can add stuff to a watch list, so maybe I want to do that for in future streams. But yeah, the flow here for that, not too much flow today, but it's bullish. $24 strike for puts. Not this week, but next week. So that would be saying that price is likely to be higher than $24 if that's bullish. And yeah, the largest contract is 9. So 24, dipping below. And so, kind of like a benefit of that is, with this 816 strike, we can see calls. Yeah, this is for August 16th, $24. One could sell, if one had 100 shares, could do a cash secured put and get $116. And then if it closed below 24, one would have to buy 100 shares, or if it closed above, you'd just be keeping that premium. So, yeah, I don't have 100 shares of Chewy, but that would be how you'd want to play that. And if we do calls for the same time frame, you could just buy a call for $120 premium, and that would be to swing. So I guess, yeah, I'll note this as well, because I guess I'm kind of curious about this. Chewy. This is 816, and that would be a call with a strike of 24, premium of 134, and curious, can that get to? That'd be 268. That would be doubling it, or at least just go higher than that. So I'll want to look at that, and then now I'll look over at PANW, and I'll look that up in Unusual Whales. PANW. No trades so far today. Oh, wait. Oh, this is... How was I just looking at? Chewy. Well, I screwed up that flow, so here. Do that. Screw that up. So that's the same information I was looking at. Here I'm going to exit out of this, and then here I'll do PANW. So yeah, let's look at the price of PANW. Yeah, $318. So those contracts are going to be pretty expensive. They will be too expensive for me to trade, if I wanted to do that. But, this is looking, looking at the chart, what's going on here? It's coming down here. Yeah, it's like how from this prior high, the low is here. So I'm just going to do this approximately from, actually, that's going to end up being exact. What was this high? Yeah, just doing it approximate. I would think that this could be coming down. I mean, maybe it'd be bouncing around here. There's support over here. But I would think that it'd come down to the golden pocket here. There's prior support here. It was support here. So I could see that, but what stands out? You know, we want to see large order size. 10, 23 bearish, 10 here bearish. So it seems like it's likely to continue down. And this is for 816 call of 350. Prices below that, and so people are, you know, let's see. Yeah, this looks. Oh, somebody's switching to bullish. But that's, you know, well into the future, January. So let's see. Let's look at this $3.10 put. Not a big order there, but, you know, it kind of matches the sentiment of it being bearish. That's not this Friday, but next Friday. And maybe we want to look at stuff more into the future. But yeah, I mean, overall, it seems more bearish, I think. But again, I'm learning this stuff, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so let's look at this contract. And check out the flow here. So order sizes are not like super huge for this, but they're, you know, the asks buy, it's bearish. And you know, 310. Look at puts for 310. That is, yeah, $450 to buy one of those contracts. So that's too much for me. It's risky for me. But yeah, what's the deal with PNW? Let's see. Is there any news on it? Morgan Stanley Wealth Management increases portfolio weights and Eli Lilly, North Group Gunman, NVIDIA, and decreases portfolio weights in JP Morgan, Palo Alto Network. So yeah, I mean, that's a bearish move on Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. But yeah, with options and with stuff being, the premium being, you know, over $100, going down to this, that's risking $455 for one contract for price to go down $8 more. So maybe that would happen, but this is like too expensive for me. Yeah, I think that this, you know, this move here, it's going to continue lower. I could see it, yeah, like coming down to 300. I mean, 300 also just makes sense, but it could be coming down lower. But yeah, for me, for shorting, going short something, I don't have as many pathways of doing that, and I wouldn't want to do that with buying puts. Unless I had, you know, shares and I could sell covered calls, and like I could do that with AMC or other stocks I own hundreds of shares of, or ChargePoint, stuff like that. And yeah, so I will then now move over to GameStop, and then I'll probably wrap up the stream going over this. Oh man, low 2174. What level have I talked about? Probably like the past many months. You know, this is a retracement that I did over here, and that is not the, this one is, yeah, okay, so they're both colored white, but this is the retracement coming down. That's the 786 here. We're back at that level. So yeah, I mean, I think that 2169, I think that it could be great dip buying opportunity. We haven't hit that exact price just yet. The lows that we saw over here were 22.31. So we're now making lower lows relative to that. But then we could, yeah, we've broken that trend line. So, I probably want to look at this on the log scale as well. But yeah, there might be some interesting options activity with GameStop because, this is a Roaring Kitty play. So maybe he's doing something interesting with it. So I'm just going to search GameStop here. And, okay, so this is bid 120. That's, let's think about that. That's bearish. Okay, so somebody had bought calls and they're selling them. And so, yeah, this is looking mainly bearish. This is bearish here. Lots of options activity. This is, okay, I guess neutral. Yeah, man. GameStop is pretty active as far as contracts go, but that could just be a lot of retail. This one stands out to me, being 168. That's 6,000 and premium. So yeah, let's look at that contract. Calls for, that's for tomorrow with a $22 strike, being sold. Being sold? Yeah, because they're saying, hey, this is going to be closing in out of the money. That's why they're selling, because it's going to be out of the money tomorrow. So, but we're not going to get too much information looking at a contract that expires tomorrow. If we're interested in longer term, going longer term. So, yeah, I think that GameStop is going to be dipping, and yeah. So I think, yeah, whether, any of the memes, or, whether or not you want to call it that, GameStop, Chewy, AMC, it looks like they're going to be pulling back. So we'll be seeing some dip buying opportunities. So great time to add to positions, but to not be YOLOing into calls. And so, and actually doing these streams when the market's closed will probably be more perhaps useful because the tables won't be getting updated because the options won't be going on. Orders won't be getting placed. But so these are, further dated out. They're long, but yeah, just let's look. This is bullish for coming up in a couple weeks. That seems like code is. Transaction represents a non-electric trade executed on a trading floor. A trade which was executed on the floor of an exchange. Okay, so these ones that are tagged are, that one is 8.9. That's $23. That's a buy. And that's, oh man, pause. This is how I can pause it. Cool. That's something I just learned about unusual whales, so I can digest what we're seeing here. So this floor one, that's 99 contracts, $6,000 premium. So I find that to be interesting. This is 100. This is bullish. That was placed on the floor. That is bullish. So yeah, this is $23 strike. I think there's some bullish stuff going on with GameStop, even though, there's a lot of noise because this is, predominantly retail. But if we look at this one, this is, yeah, look. Well, this is bearish. So that's a put. It's buying a put. So I guess that's kind of like hedging. Maybe that's a hedge against this, but floor. This is intriguing. $23 call. And so this is, oh, wait, this is, yeah, call. Okay. Yes, this is the big order that was just placed, so that's a spike there. And let's look at the flow here for this. This is, these are one individual contracts. This could be retail, being stupid, losing money. I'm not saying retail's stupid, but we got these big orders here placed today. Or not big orders, but those were sweeps. These were on the floor. This is, these stand out to me. So I think that there were some big orders placed. And yeah, this is for not this. Yeah, I think that what we're seeing right now with GameStop is that we're seeing dip buying opportunities. That these, let's see. I mean, these bearish ones, these are people who are going to lose money. 19, I mean, that's a call. That's bearish because somebody sold calls when they should have been buying. That's retail being dumb, I imagine. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say retail's dumb. I am retail. I'm just trying to say, if I were to do the exact opposite trade that I was thinking about, and actually, I should note this in my notebook. The GameStop, and this is 489 call with a strike of $23. What's the premium for that? If I look at that over here, $23 strike. Got all these are puts. Now I got calls. $23 strike. This doesn't have a ton of open interest, but let's see, that's $60. So to buy one of those is $60, an out of the money call. So that's gambling. But I wonder if that can go to 120 premium. And yeah, so I think that what we're seeing is a dip buying opportunity for GameStop based on the options flow from this contract that I'm looking at. But I could be wrong. So I'm going to unpause this so we can just see live all these puts. But yeah, like largest size here, if we're looking at the number of contracts that have been opened or closed, you got 100. This is a buy. 100. This is a buy. So 137. This is a put, which is neutral. So I don't know if that's a buy or sell. Still learning how to read this. Well, I guess, if it's a, yeah, let's see. 168, that's neutral. I think that GameStop's going to be going up over the course of next week is what my takeaway from this. So I think that's pretty cool. I've learned a lot from unusual whales. I need to set up alerts. But, I do have some notes here just from exploring the flow. And I think that can be, maybe that's a great way to be trading options, doing stuff either after close or during market hours. And then whether I'm setting alerts or not, I can be documenting what the premiums are and maybe noting what's a good swing. So, I think that's pretty cool. Hopefully you guys found this useful. And if you did, make sure you like the video and always share your thoughts, whether that's in the comments down below or in the live chat for these streams looking at unusual whale watching. They're going to be limited to members. So make sure you become a member if you would like to have me look over some of your requests during them. And, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. I will be doing unusual whale watching at least 3 times a week over the course of August and seeing if, it can give me some alpha on, some trades and maybe make a little bit more money. It's $48 a month for this subscription. But, hopefully it pays for itself either by, more views on the channel or by setting up nice trades where I'm able to make a little bit of money on them. But yeah, for this video, I did go over, let's see, these tickers that are listed here. I believe I started with ChargePoint. Then I also looked at AMC, HUMA, as well as Open, Chewy, GameStop, and Palo Alto. So, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. It was useful for me, and I look forward to exploring unusual whales some more, likely doing another stream later today after the close. And yeah, to get into, looking at some of these contracts that I noted in my notepad and see if those were some nice swings. And then we'll, probably participate in some swings later in the month once I've gotten more familiar with unusual whales. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope your day of trading is going well, and I'll likely be doing another stream later today. So take care, you guys, and thanks for joining and becoming members. I really